Hello and Merry Christmas to all my viewers out there and all my subscribers out there. And I'd like to welcome everyone to a very special edition of Album Rant. And this is going to be the big epic Christmas special. And I thought it was as great a time as any to talk about the very first release by Danish heavy metal artist King Diamond, which would be a single entitled No Presents for Christmas, released on Christmas Day of 1985, which actually would have been my very first Christmas. Way to kick off Christmas and my life, I guess so. But anyways, as you probably know, I have talked about him twice so far on this channel. He originated in a band called Merciful Fate in the early 80s, and they put out 3 very strong releases, which were a self-titled EP composed of 4 songs, and then 2 regular-length LPs entitled Melissa and Don't Break the Oath. Well, tensions were rising in the band, and one of the members, Hank Sherman, wanted to go in a more pop commercial direction, while some of the other members did not. So, make a long story short, some members left, some members were traded out, and new members came in, and they retitled the band King Diamond, because obviously he was the star, he was the main attraction, so, you know, you really gotta capitalize on that. And the last Merciful Fate album came out in 1984, and the first King Diamond release was not going to be ready until 1986. So they started to think, how do we keep interest alive during the time period before we're ready to release our first album? Well, somebody got the great idea of recording a heavy metal Christmas carol, and that brings me to what I am going to be talking about tonight, which is the No Presents for Christmas single. Now, this was never intended to be a full-fledged album. It's really just a promotional record, like I said, intended to keep people engaged in King Diamond's music. So let's go ahead and see what we have right here. I am going to have to open this thing up. And as you can see, this is an original pressing. They just recently re-released this through Metal Blade Records, but this is the original Roadrunner release. And you can see right here on side 1, we only have 1 song, and it's the title track, No Presents for Christmas, written by Michael Dinner, who had previously been in Merciful Fate, and of course, the man, King Diamond. Now, this starts off with a very, very festive atmosphere, and in fact, we have a nice little rendition of Jingle Bells, and that goes on for about 15, 16, 17 seconds or so. But then the band just starts kicking in, and King Diamond has that very demonic growl, which I can't even hope to replicate tonight. But it starts getting fast, it starts getting aggressive, and it's got a great beat to it. I am not fully sure what the lyrics are supposed to mean. I heard a fan theory that it's about a guy who is not visited by Santa for Christmas, so he decides to become a Satanist. Maybe that is what it's about, maybe it's not. I couldn't tell you, but I'm just saying it would not surprise me if that's what it was actually about. But like I said, it's very, very fast-paced, and I absolutely love it. In the middle, it's got kind of a little bridge, and it goes through various sections, but you know, it kind of does return the more Christmassy theme that this is associated with. It's got some bells in the background, and it's kind of funny. But then it goes forward, they do another little verse. Tom and Jerry bring the sherry, they don't give a damn. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. I do not know who Tom and Jerry are, but whatever. But what I really, really love about this is at the very end, the last 30 seconds or so, it starts going into another rendition, this time of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and then it ends with King going, I'm dreaming of a white Sabbath. Wow! And then it just ends, and I just absolutely love that ending. It's hilarious, yet awesome at the same time. And that was basically it. That was No Presents for Christmas. But the thing is this. A record has two sides to it, so let's see what's on side B. And you can see right here, it is a song that I guess they had ready by the time this came out, but the rest of the Fatal Portrait album was not ready. But we have Sharon, which did end up on the Fatal Portrait album, which was released the following year in 1986. So I guess they had this one ready, so they're like, hey, let's just throw it on the back of the single and give people kind of a preview of what to expect in the next couple of months or so. And this is one of my favorite King Diamond songs ever. It starts off again with his demonic laugh, and it is just so awesome. I am not going to try to do it because I am just going to mess it up. But this one is a lot slower than No Presents for Christmas. Sharon is very dark, slow, and doomy. Dun 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 dun. I'm just messing it up. But anyways, I absolutely love it. Welcome, my friend. My name is Karen! He seems to pronounce it Charon for some reason, and it's kind of odd. And he does that on Satan's Fall for Merciful Fate, and he also does it here. I don't know if that's just the Danish way of pronouncing it. I have no clue, but it wouldn't surprise me. But kind of a fun fact, in 9th grade, I had to do a mythology project for English class, and I chose to do Hades for obvious reasons. And of course, I had to talk about Charon because he's the ferryman taking you across the River Styx. Well, I had only heard the name Charon through King Diamond, and I thought it was pronounced Charon. So when I'm reading my little speech, telling my little story that I had come up with for this project, I kept pronouncing it Charon, and I'm sure everybody else was like, what is he talking about? But, you know, kind of a fun story. But this has a great interlude in the middle. What happens is the song starts speeding up for a second, and then all instruments cease, and he just goes, I am your death. It was great. It is amazing. And Charon is definitely, like I said, one of my favorite King Diamond songs ever. I saw King Diamond's solo career back in 2019, and I did talk about that on a previous episode, but unfortunately, they did not play either of these. I really wish they would have, they just didn't, but it's okay because it was an awesome concert. And this is a great single and a definite collector's item. Now, obviously, this is just for the dedicated fans out there. You can get both of these songs on any King Diamond Greatest Hits out there. There are two of them, actually, and both the songs are on both of them. But if you're a dedicated fan like me, this is a really, really great thing to have, and I am really glad that I have it. Now, kind of a depressing story about this. When I got this actual record, I was in 10th grade. I had ordered it like 3 months ago, and it took a long time to come because it was an international shipment, but it came the day before this big cross-country race for me, and I was beyond stressed out about it. And well, tragically, I blew up during the race. My legs locked up, and I did not do very well. And it was, it's kind of a painful memory for me, and it will always be associated with this record. Maybe that was some kind of curse. I don't know. Given the subject matter, it wouldn't surprise me, but that is actually what happened, and kind of something I don't really like to think about, but sometimes it's just hard. But I do recommend the No Presents for Christmas single for the dedicated fans. I definitely recommend this music to everyone. But if you're just a casual listener, you do not need to buy this. It probably, by this point, it probably costs quite a bit, probably a couple $100 by now. So you can just either get the King Diamond Greatest Hits or the A Dangerous Meaning compilation. Both the songs are on there, and Sharon is also on Fatal Portrait. And it's also on the remastered CD edition of Fatal Portrait as a bonus track. But anyways, I want to say thank you all for joining me tonight. Next time, we're going to look at another episode of Face Off. But until then, have a very Merry Christmas.